Hi, I'm Eric, and I'm making the Black Pepper Crew, a tactic game with an identity crisis. Well, not an identity crisis, but just a regular crisis. Allow me to explain. Currently, the game's combat mechanics have a strong foundation, so I can start crafting more levels and enemies and make a full game out of it. But the game loop is missing an important component that will wrap the whole experience up, which is the metagame. But before diving into this metagame business, I'm going to sum up this week's progress. As my devlog content has met the current state of the game, from now on all the devlogs will be about the game's development progress on a weekly basis. So this past week has been really difficult to work on the game. I worked only on small tasks, mostly animations. One thing that I did include is a pre-turn real routine in the turn manager. The turn manager basically handles who is going to be moving units when. Now, that's pretty straightforward usually, but it allows me to have NPCs turns too. That way, I can have, for example, dancing monkeys who just move randomly in a level. If I want, I can have more factions with different turns. Well, that's another thing entirely. The important thing is that this turn manager works very well. I can have a lot of flexibility with it. And one of the things I needed was a pre-turn phase. Currently, when the enemies were shocked, it was not very clear when they recovered. So, though I added recovery animation spark alongside the character's recovery animation too, and I played this animation when the character is about to recover, and this is in the pre-turn phase that is executed before each turn. Now, as I said, this week I wasn't able to do much. I worked mostly on some sprites and animations. But one thing that I did was think a lot about the game loop. Now, the game loop it's uh, not complete. I mean, you can play the missions from start to end, and they make sense. They are kind of fun. That's great. That's great and all. But I need to feel the other part of the game, and I think it's more connected to the narrative of the game. Usually, these kind of games, at least for me, must have a narrative. Otherwise, the game gets boring really fast. And that's the grinding part of the game, which is really annoying and boring. On the contrary, when the player is battling these levels with a clear purpose, probably because he's connected with the story, he's interested in knowing what's going to happen, and all the stakes are on the battlefield, he feels things differently. I mean, these are the same mechanics, but the meaning of the battle changes completely the gameplay. And that's why the game's story completes this part of the game. And that's something you see mostly on the meta game. In Tactics Ogre, you have this map where you can move around and buy stuff from the shops and see some cutscenes, explore a little bit of the map, and depending on where you go, you have different battles and encounters, and, and that's great. That's what wraps the whole experience. If it was only battling enemies in a board, it could get boring really fast. The map was important because it gives depth to the game. With that in mind, I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to create this part of the game. The idea I've been thinking currently is that the player is moving in this city and trying to find its target. So I'm thinking about creating some sort of investigation mechanics where you go in the city and talk to people and ask questions about this character they are looking for, they are trying to find. And you might fight some of these guys, or you might, I don't know, give him an item and he will tell you where this guy is hiding. And then when you go to this place, the mission starts. And by the mission start, I mean the levels that I currently have. So there's the connection between the world map and the mission themselves. Now, when you finish the mission, there are a lot of things that I've been thinking about how I'm going to connect this mechanic. So maybe one of your characters was knocked out in the level. So now the next mission you probably won't be using this unit so you can recover. I don't know, I've been thinking a lot about that. I think I'm going to include more characters to the crew, optional characters basically, that you can find in this world if you explore a little bit and talk with these guys and find a way to get them interested in your quest. And then they will join you, and then you will have more options in these missions. You might go with a different roster of characters in different missions. I think that will improve a lot of the game's depth. Anyway, that's a lot of work. I have to start creating more characters, and also I have to keep thinking how I'm going to connect all these mechanics together for them to make sense. So this week, so for now that's it. Thanks for watching this 5th devlog, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!